possible crash upcoming? Is Bitcoin going to follow the S&P 500? We will find out very, very soon. Hello Adrian, and welcome back to my channel once again. I don't know why, but Facebook didn't give me any notification that I went live. That is very bizarre, but it's apparently working. So hi Steven, hi Vahe. Welcome to the show once again. It is 7:30 p.m. UTC plus 8, and well, welcome everyone who is watching all around the world, wherever, what time zone you are at. Hi Piotr. Very enthusiastic, very happy. Hi Darren once again. And Darren is here always. Every evening Darren is here. So before we go into our Bitcoin analysis, of course, let's take a look how our numbers are with our COVID situation. Let's see. Doom to doom. Yeah, it's weird, right? No Facebook notification. That's very, very weird. Now it just came up. Now it just came up apparently. Anyways, so yeah, United States still the number one at the 1.3 million and 369,000 people. That's a lot of people, and all the rest are like 200k, over 200k. So let's see if something changed into our chart. 4.2 million, over to 4.2 million. The slope is a little bit slowing down, I guess, but still not great. Oh, USA is finally starting showing some flattening. Russia still going up. Spain slowing down. UK still going up. Italy, and now Brazil has taken the number 6 spot. By the way, Brazil has close to 200,000 cases. Wow, oh my God, that's pretty crazy. Hi Justus, hi Shamir. Am I a bull or a bear? That's a tough question. I would say a little bit bearish, very short term. Medium term, quite bullish still, but that could change. Long term, extremely bullish. So it kind of depends on how you're looking at, what are you looking at. Anyways, there's only one article that was very interesting today for me. I thought it was very interesting, and what was this article here? Apparently Coinbase and Gemini established a banking relationship with JP Morgan. As we know from before, our good old friend, CEO from JP Morgan was telling people, or his own employees, if you are going to invest into Bitcoin, you will get fired. And Bitcoin is a scam, and Bitcoin blah blah blah. He was totally against Bitcoin, and now apparently he's changing his mind. Or is it maybe because the banking sector and industry is not doing that great right now with low interest rates? That could be also a problem, right? Anyways, so they established a banking relationship, and apparently they are allowing, and that's actually a super good thing, right, for people in the crypto industry, that using the JP Morgan banking to be able to deposit onto Coinbase or Gemini, or facilitate deposits more quickly, fiat deposit more quickly, in and out through JP Morgan. And that's something that is quite big. Of course, they only are talking to the most high compliant, KYC compliant cryptocurrency exchanges that there are in the world. That's Coinbase and Gemini, of course. So that's quite I mean, it's quite normal, right? But yeah, that's that's quite a change of trend and position, right? And also, I don't know if you know as well, JP Morgan also created their own cryptocurrency. So well, that was the most hilarious part, right? So for like years on years on years, cryptocurrency was horrible. Cryptocurrency is bad, and then what they're doing is on the back end is creating their own crypto. The media, the people. It is incredible. Anyways, so first, the most important thing was the following. Yesterday, I told you guys we were looking at the VIX, and I told you guys this looks like a falling wedge, if you remember. And I told you if this VIX chart pumps up, we will most likely see that the S&P will react as well, and that's basically what happened yesterday, right? So we are currently currently most likely going to be breaking this falling wedge, and of course what we can then see on the S&P is this. So this is what happened yesterday, this giant red candle here. So that's the reason it was quite funny, because last night that was like the last thing that I was looking at with you guys, the VIX chart, and I told you guys about that falling wedge, and then suddenly I was talking about correlation, and you can see here this is negative. The VIX is always has a negative correlation with the S&P. So when the VIX goes up, the S&P goes down, and when VIX goes down, as you can see, we've been falling down, and the price of the S&P has been, of course, going up. Right? Makes sense. Right? Going up. And then yesterday, as you can see, was trying to break out of that falling wedge, and that was when we have this red candle. And that's one of the reasons why I am expecting that the VIX continues to go up and breaks out of this, and that will most likely create the S&P to go down one leg more, right? And I've told you guys already, if the S&P goes down one more leg, then most likely Bitcoin will do as well. So do I think that is going to happen immediately? Well, not immediately, but I mean, it has a high probability, right? Hi Naeem, thank you for following and welcome to the channel, as well as Brian and Eric. All welcome. Please enjoy, and if you have any questions or remarks, please join in on the chat. That's why there is a live chat. Anyways, so let's take a look at the CME chart, or the S&P chart right now. As you can see here, we did bounce up. Here we did bounce up, but as you can see also as well on the bottom, the volume is very low. So this looks like a very weak rally, and we have all major moving averages and resistance basically here on the top. So does that mean that we are going to be just touching this point and then crash down? Most likely, that's most likely what I think is going to happen. But you know, stranger things have happened before, right? So we have to take a look at this VIX. Do we, during this day later on, do we break out of it? Yes or no? If the VIX breaks out, obviously the S&P is going to be most likely get rejected at this point here, and then crash down to a lower point once again. Most likely first bounce will be this purple line around the EMA 200 as usual, right? That would be my first target. That is around 2810. That's let's say 2800 area. That's basically what I would be expecting, that we at least go down there by tomorrow or something like that, first and foremost. So one of the reasons why I'm very interested in the stock market is, like I've keep telling a lot of people as well, is that the stock market, the correlation is very high between the stock market and the Bitcoin market. Bitcoin is what I consider an altcoin from the stock market, and a lot of people are not very happy when I say that, because when they are thinking of altcoins, of course they are thinking about like our shitty coins, you know, that is following Bitcoin, right? Because like I said, if Bitcoin goes down, all the altcoins usually go down. when Bitcoin goes up, all the shit coins or all the altcoins go up as well. So for me, that's how I'm looking in the perspective of the market as well. The stock market is obviously trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, and we have a few hundred billions in our Bitcoin market. And so yeah, for me, in my perspective, Bitcoin is just an altcoin of the stock market. So the stock market is the leader of the whole thing, and if the stock market goes up, then the Bitcoin market most likely goes up as well, in sometimes even a faster way than the stock market. And when things go down, Bitcoin goes down as well, and sometimes as well faster than the stock market. But let's put that on a chart so we can see things, how the correlation works, right? So a lot of people make the mistake between correlation and covariance. So the big difference between is, because a lot of people are saying, well, S&P went up 10% today and Bitcoin went up. The S&P went down 1% today and Bitcoin went up 5%, for example. So they are saying, like, what's the correlation here? Well, the correlation is not about in percentages. The correlation is about the main trend movement, and that's something that a lot of people are confused about, right? So a lot of people are thinking in perspective of covariance, where the amount is what they're looking at, right? Like 10% up as well. That's covariance, not correlation. Okay, so let's go into our S&P chart. Okay, this is our S&P chart, and let's compare it with our Bitcoin chart. Of course, that's what we are going to do. So let's put our Bitcoin chart here, and as you can see here, this is what I mean when we're talking about correlation, right? So when the S&P, wait, let's zoom out. When the S&P went up here, you can clearly see Bitcoin went up as well. Of course, it's not in the same amount or anything like that, but we're talking about, like I said, about correlation. We're not talking about covariance here, right? And when you can see here, we got a dip in the S&P. What happened to Bitcoin? Bitcoin went down as well. Once again, we can clearly see a very high correlation. You're welcome, Piotr. You're welcome. Oh, and thanks, Ricky and Erickson and April. Welcome to the channel, and thank you for following me as well. Okay, let's continue. And as you can see here, the stock market rised up. Then, of course, Bitcoin rises up as well. We got a little dip here in the stock market. We got a bigger dip in Bitcoin market. We got a bigger dip in percentage, in once again in amount in the S&P chart. What happened to Bitcoin? We also went down, but less hard. Then the stock market is rallying right now in the past, in the past month or something like that. And what did Bitcoin? We rallied up as well, right? So if that is not proof for you guys enough already that the correlation is very high between the stock market and the Bitcoin chart, well, I rest my case, right? There's nothing much I can say other than that. So that's the reason why I take so much importance of looking at the S&P chart on top of all the rest of the analysis that I'm doing in comparison with Bitcoin. So we are at Bitcoin, the Bitcoin chart right now. So if this S&P starts to break down, then most likely Bitcoin is going to be breaking down as well. Not in the same amount or anything like that, but like I said, we're talking about correlation here, right? So if the S&P goes down like 10-20%, even if Bitcoin is not going down 20%, the same amount, but it will still be going down, let's say 10%, for example, right? I'm just putting out a number out there to make it a little bit easier to understand. So it's not about the percentage, it's about the movement, right? The trend of the movement. So what I've been talking to you guys as well already, if we do a Fibonacci retracement here from this top here until the bottom, of the S&P, we can clearly see that we are in the wait, let me remove this Bitcoin chart first. We can see that we are here in this very important golden pocket retracement Fibonacci area, the 0.618, between the 0.618 and the 0.65. And actually, if you put it in the line chart, you can even see it way clearer. Like, okay, let's put it here. This is the top, and this is our bottom. Boom. And you can very see very clearly here. This top here is exactly in the golden pocket ratio, right? So that's the S&P. So the whole structure here, a lot of people are asking like, okay, well, is this going to be, you know, breaking up or down? Because if this breaks up, obviously we are immediately looking here at the 0.76 Fibonacci retracement area. So yeah, most likely 3,100 would be our target, and that would mean, since there's very little resistance anymore, most likely we will get a V-shaped correction, right? And then everything, and as crazy as it sounds in this economy, it is possible, you know, it is possible that we get a V-shaped correction. If you don't know about types of market corrections, please go to my videos section and watch the 4 types of market corrections, and you'll understand more what a V-shaped correction is, or a W correction, or an L-shaped correction, and so on and so on, right? So if this gets rejected here, and we will know it quite soon, right? We will know it quite soon, and let's say the next couple of weeks or something like that, we will probably know already what is going. If we start to create a lower, like, you know, if we start to move down here towards 2.6 would be 2.65 would be final. Let's put it like that. If it goes down there, then we're definitely not gonna get a V-shaped correction. Let's put it like that, right? But like I said, the most important thing for me is just the trend or the direction. So if we get rejected here and it goes down to the 265, then Bitcoin is obviously going back down as well. So that's basically the main thing that I wanted to explain in the terms of like correlation with the S&P. And so yeah, why am I watching the S&P? Is the VIX right now is this point here. Once the stock market opens, so we have to wait until 9:30 p.m. for me. That's UTC +8. So once again, I don't know what time that is for you guys, but that's when the New York Stock Exchange opens for me, and then we can check how the price evolves, right? But yesterday we got, let's say, a taster of this break upwards on the VIX, and then what did the S&P? It made a major push down as well. Okay, so that major push down has not reflected on the Bitcoin chart yet. So for people who are saying like, hey, S&P dropped 2%, but Bitcoin didn't drop at all, it actually went up a little bit, like what I've expected also yesterday. But anyways, so let's go into our Bitcoin chart and follow up on what I basically was telling you guys yesterday. So yesterday I told you guys this looks like a sort of a bear flag that we are forming, right? But I also said that we, in the short term and the very short term, we are not done just yet, right? And I've told you guys I'm looking at an area somewhere between 9,000, like close to the 9,100, like just below 9,100, like 9,080, 9,050, 9,000, something like that, right? So that's what I told you guys yesterday. And as you can see, it took a while, but as of right now, we are around near that area that I am expecting that Bitcoin is going, right? And the reason why I've told you guys is we were forming some sort of is an ascending triangle on the short term. So we have like an ascending triangle on the short term, and if we made a measured move, then it would be around that area as well, right? So if you don't believe me, just watch the video from yesterday. It's more clearer than what I'm saying right now. But basically, this is what I'm expecting. And then what I told you guys is most likely we will see some sort of like an ABCD triangle movement. So we get this as an A, this as an B, this is most likely our C wave, this is then we go back down to our D wave, and then we go an E wave, and then usually what happens is after that we crash down, right? Down to this, most likely my target would be this green box here. So that's what I told you yesterday, and as you can see right now the price is doing pretty much what I expected it to do. The question is, of course, like I said, we can always break out of a triangle or a wedge right here, and if we break out and make a higher just if price just hits above this price here, this at 9,162 or something like that, if the price just goes up above that line, then the measured move is towards the upside. So I'll be switching that into a long, right? So the plan, like I explained yesterday, is to short this one, and most likely, hopefully it will go down into my green box here. And if not, my stop loss or my switch into a long is when price would be moving up above this 9,160. Okay, so I think that's pretty clear. Let me remove this one. Okay, so the question is right now, how is this looking? Like, are we still trending towards a little bit higher? Most likely yes, right? I don't think this is done just yet. I still think that we have a little bit more strength, but I'm actually waiting for another 8 minutes or so that the 12-hour candle and the 4-hour candle is going to be closed, so I can make a more accurate decision on whether this is possibly our top, yes or no. But if we just look at our 4-hour HVP, and that is something that is the money maker. That's what I call the money maker, because as you can see here, since the 11th of May, once again we have been contracting, and as you can see here, we've been contracting down. And this is on the 4-hour chart, not on the 12-hour chart. So we're not talking about a $2,000 move like before, like I told you guys on the 12-hour chart when it would be flashing red. But on the 4-hour chart, we are talking about like a nice $400, $500 move, right? So it's definitely tradable, and that is what is going to happen most likely very, very soon. As you can see here, it's already on it's currently at 32, and once it goes like I said, once it goes to like single digits below 10, it will flash red once again, right? And once it flashes red, then it's money time, right? that's how it works. And as you can see here, if we make our triangle, the apex is on the 17th of May. But like I explained to you guys also before already, usually the apex never gets reached. It only goes to like 70 to 75 or 80% of the triangle before we get some action, right? And where do I expect some action? Well, that's actually tomorrow. That could be very, very possible, right? It goes something like this: tomorrow on the 14th of May or on the 15th of May. So in the next couple of days, we will most likely be seeing that big move, right? That $400-500 move that I'm expecting. So the question is, of course, is it going to be a move upwards or a move downwards, right? So because that indicator does not tell you the direction. It's not directional biased. So what we're trying to do is find a direction, right? And for me, the direction is obviously more likely towards the downside than the upside right now, because I have seen that big dump on the S&P, right? So I've seen this dump on the S&P. I've seen the VIX trying to break out of the falling wedge. So of course, I'm more inclined to be taking a position towards the shorting to the downside. Not only that, we can also see on the higher time frames that things are starting to get a little bit tired, right? We can clearly see here on the daily base, our Stokes are curling towards the down movement. If we are looking at the CCI, we can also see red, so going down as well. Momentum is going down. Here, I've told you guys already, if it flashes green on the back, it usually means that some sort of top or local top is being formed. And now it also flashed a red button, meaning that there is a crossover, meaning momentum is once again going to the downside, as you can see here also on the histogram. So all the higher time frames are telling me we are getting a little bit more tired. The bulls are getting a little bit more weaker, right? So I'm just combining all of that data, right? I'm just saying, okay, S&P is telling me this. HVP, historical volatility percentile, is telling me that a $400-500 move is upcoming tomorrow or the day after or something like that. But all the higher time frames are telling me that it's a little bit tired. So I'm just, probabilities are just for me a little bit on the higher side that it will be going towards the downside. Is it going to be going down a lot or anything like that? No, I don't think that will be, because the support is very clear, right? If we look at our weekly chart, we can clearly see, like, look, so many moving averages on the bottom. So are we going to be like going, crashing down? No, but from 9K to maybe like 8.3, 8.4K, I think that's very, very, very likely. That's basically what I'm aiming at for the next couple of 1 or 2 days or something like that. So, like I said, we are still forming this bear flag, and like I said, if we take a measured move from here, from this bear flag, and it breaks down, let's say it breaks down in the next couple of days, as you can see here, we would be going towards and touching somewhere the purple line, the EMA 200 once again, right? So the EMA 200 is 8.2K right now. So I do believe that once we get down there, we break down that wedge, most likely we'll wick down towards our green box as well. So my target is the same as what I've been telling you guys before, around 8,000 to 8.1K or something like that. That's what is most likely. But the opposite can also be said, right? We can also take the measured move to the upside. So if we break up, we can clearly see here a measured move and then maybe a wick, we would be going up towards the green box upstairs. So nothing is set in stone, right? So that's the reason why I am prepared for both scenarios. But most likely one of those two scenarios is going to happen this week, basically, right? So how am I positioning myself as a trader to make sure that I will profit from those moments is like what I've told you guys, right? I will be entering a position around this area here and switching over into a position if we break up above this area here, because then I'll be targeting this area on top here. Hi Gil. Good morning, good evening. What is it? I think it's good evening for you, or is it good morning for you? Anyways, we have more followers apparently. Romnik, David, and Abdi Karim. Thank you for following and welcome to the channel as well. So, what did I wanted to tell you guys as well is one second. Something that I wanted to show you guys. Oh yeah, the two-day chart. So the two-day chart, is here. We can clearly see this bullish cross that we are having, and price is above the EMA, above the simple moving average, the simple 200 moving average, or the white line here, as you can see. So as long as the 2-day closes above this 200 moving average, that's actually very, very bullish as well. So yeah. So that's what on long term, what I'm looking for as well. Small example how to make right stop limit order. Well, first of all, you should be laddering positions. I think a lot of people don't ladder enough positions as well. I think that's something that a lot of people who are margin trading don't learn enough. So if you're for example you want to enter a short, right? Like let's say I'm interested in entering a short and I'm targeting this price here 9.1k. I'm not going to put my limit order at 9.1k. What I'm going to do is, for example, 25% at like 9,050, 25% at 9,075, and so on. I'll be laddering my positions in a certain range so that at least if the price doesn't get up there, I get a fraction of my position inputs, right? Because you don't want to be, missing out on like $5 or something like that, because that's the worst, right? Missing out on the position for like $1 or $5. So that's something that a lot of people, I see a lot of people trying to get the absolute top or trying to get the absolute bottom, right? But if you are a real trader, yeah, I mean, it's really cool to hit exactly the number, right? It's really cool, but you have to be thinking and really thinking in ranges, not in absolute numbers. Let's put it like that. So like I said, for example, here I'm aiming to get a certain range, right? I'm aiming to get a certain range from this 9.1 down to like 950 or something like that, which is a certain range. So I'll have like a couple of orders in that range, and even if it doesn't hit 9,099 for example, then I'm still in a position, even though it's a smaller position, of course, right? So yeah, that's basically simple. Anyways, let's go into the expected move charts because we just closed our 12 hour candle, so that's what I was looking for. So first standard deviation on the upside is 9,311, and the bottom one is at 8,700. So yeah, that kind of stuff tells me that today, by tomorrow, most likely we'll be already knowing what will happen. Because if we move to 9,300, we are hitting already the next target, and if we're moving to 8,700 down here. Down here in this green box, then we also know the next movement that it's most likely going to be targeting downwards, right? So where did price go? We went to 9,058 right now, right? So that's pretty good. Head and shoulders on the move. On which time frame are you looking at, Javen? I don't know which time frame you're looking at, right? So maybe be a little bit more specific on that. Anyways, boom boom. What am I going to see? So okay, let's take a look at the RSI now on the 12-hour chart. What the RSI? Okay, see, you can clearly see here RSI is starting to make a slope down. So once again, that shows that the last close is currently it's a possible top. Let's put it like that. Let's take a look at our Stokes. Our Stokes are actually forming a positive slope right now. So okay, that's okay. We already checked our momentum indicators. Okay, let's see our RSI with our EMA. Yeah, so if the price goes above 9,150, then we will have a crossover, and then basically we will most likely go up instead of down. So that's the reason why this price is so important, and that's exactly the price that my stop loss or my switch into a long is at right here. Like I told you guys, if ever price goes up above 9,160, then yeah, that's what happens. So using that indicator, it also tells me that exactly what I'm thinking is going to happen. Head and shoulder on the 4-hour chart. Let me check. Head and shoulders on the 4-hour chart. me see. I assume you think you are thinking something like this. This would be a left shoulder, this would be a head, this would be something like this, right shoulder, and then down, something like this. I assume that's what you mean, Javen. Is this a head and shoulders? Technically, no. Technically, it's not a head and shoulders. The reason why is because the right shoulder volume pattern here is not matching. So on a technical perspective, I don't think this this can be considered a head and shoulders. But for just for the fun of it, I want to know if we take the top, the measured move of this, where we would be ending at. I just wanna take a look. If we take this, it goes down, we would be ending at 7,255. Yeah, I don't really see it just yet. It's possible, I guess. It's always possible, but yeah, technically it's not really it doesn't feel right as a head and shoulders. So yeah, I'll stick to that. But yeah, what it does look like is obviously a sort of a bear flag, right, that we're forming right now. So let's take. I just wanted to go in the short terms to see where we're at. So short term, the Stokes are still trending upwards. Let's see at our HVP. The next one is already, as you can see, the next tick is already 19, and I've told you already, once it goes into single digits, that will be our money time, right? So it could be, this looks like tomorrow, right? This really looks like tomorrow. So let's take a look at our RSI, where we're at. RSI is still trending above, but has a little tick to the downside. It will cross down at 8,857. So that's also an important number to be thinking about. So if price would go to 8,856, then it would confirm that we would be heading towards that target that I'm telling you guys, most likely towards the 8,100 ish area, something like that, 8,100 ish area. So to the upside 9,160, to the downside 8,856 apparently right now, right? So let's take a look at the ADX. Yeah, bears are sort of in charge right now on the short term. CCI is still showing that the bulls are more in momentum. Let's take a look at here, still in momentum, the green. We are only at the second, but we are nearing the Ichimoku resistance cloud. So but there's very little resistance, so we can actually break through this easily as well though. But yeah, we'll have to wait another 4 hours. That's basically, there's nothing sure right now. Like I wouldn't be super sure that we're gonna be breaking down immediately right now or something like that. But yeah, but overall the strategy doesn't change, right? So yeah, so we have a little bit of a position because it hit 9,058, so we got a small position already there at 9,050. So let's hope we make some money by tomorrow or something like that. But it seems like it's not done just yet, so it can go a little bit higher still. But as long as, like I said, as long as we don't break this high, right? 9,160 something. That's the most important and critical area. But other than that, yeah, I think it looks pretty solid for whatever Bitcoin is going to do. So like I said, I'm just waiting for the 4-hour HVP to be flashing red. That's going to be, it's currently at 19, so most likely later tonight or tomorrow, and we will have somewhere around the $400-500 move. And yeah, hopefully right now I hope that it's gonna go down, then I can make a little bit more money. But if it goes up, I will still make a little bit of money as well. So that's basically what a trader is all about. You can't you can't be like, oh my god, I'm sure that it's gonna go up, I'm sure that it's gonna go down. And that's where people lose the most money, right? They're like so confident that they can predict or control the market, but you cannot control the market. Okay, the market is gonna do what the market wants to do. So we have Lina, who is asking a short review on the Bitcoin SV chart. Ah, god damn it, these altcoins. How do they trick people to get all these altcoins in their portfolio? It's so amazing. I'm still amazed until this day. And then it's like some hard-forked coin, Satoshi's vision. Oh my god. But anyways, yes, Gabriel, I understand it. That's why I try to keep it simple on one chart right now, so that you can clearly see where I think that it's gonna go, right? So to be very clear, this is what I'm thinking. And down, that's my for me the highest probability. But of course it can also do something like this. Well, it's not gonna do like this. It's rather going to do something like this. Yeah, something like this. So yeah, that's what we are waiting for, a decision around this area here, a major crash down or a major crash up. But anyways, so we got a request to do a Bitcoin SV. Oh my god, Bitcoin SV. So BSV. Let's go BSV USD, right? USD. Let's take a look on what chart should we check. Let's go with Bitfinex, I guess. Bitfinex then. Bitfinex. Okay. Let's go on the daily chart. No, wait. Let's go first on the weekly chart. Weekly chart. Okay. Let's put on my moving. EMAs. Okay. Let's take a look. So, weekly chart. Right now, we closed below the yellow line, below the EMA 21, which is not a good thing, right? So when I look at any coin on the weekly chart, we want to see if it's above or below the EMA 21 or this yellow line. And right now it closed below, and it's trying to get back up here, but it's currently not up. So but the week is not over yet, right? So by the end of this week, I would be taking a look and checking if it does go above or below, closes above or below the EMA 21. The positive thing is we are still trending above the green line or the EMA 55. So that's the positive thing. How does this look? For me, this looks quite bearish, quite toppy. So let's take a fib. Let's make a fib. So if we take this fib here, wait, let me put it on the line chart, and then remove this this one first. Okay, let's go on the line chart. So we had a 0.5 pip retracement here, and it got rejected already there. Currently here. If we look at some pattern formation, I would say this kind of looks like a rising wedge type of structure, and that's a bearish structure, right? So it's most likely going to be breaking down. That's the highest probability, but it can also break up, right? So but the highest probability is to the downside. So if I would be looking for some long-term spots, if it breaks up, so basically if Bitcoin breaks up and goes high, I would be looking around this area here, 278. Well, between 207, let's put it $275. So that would be the upside if Bitcoin manages to go to like 11K, that kind of targets. Then I would be looking at BSV to be going as well to the upside. Maybe we can make a measured move here. See, if we break up, we would be reaching around that target. If we are breaking down, then of course it's the same thing. We would be looking around this area here on the bottom here. I'll put that into green because it supports, and I would be looking at around $121, something like that. That should be the measured move around here. See, so if Bitcoin breaks up, so basically if Bitcoin breaks up towards like 11K, that kind of bullish momentum, then I would be looking at 275-ish or something like that for BSV. If Bitcoin breaks down towards like downwards towards like 6K, well, not 6K, 7K-ish area, most likely this is going to be breaking down to like 121 or something like that. That's long term, of course. We're not talking about short term here, right? That's very long term. So let's take a look, maybe a little bit more short term. So let's take a look a little bit short term. Yeah, short term, this looks like a bear, like a bear flag, right? Something like this. Then if we take the pull, something like this, breaking down. Yeah, if it breaks down 157, something like that, if it breaks up, obviously. If it breaks up 207, something like that, that's what I'm looking at. But we have a bearish cross here, as you can see. Yellow line is crossing down towards the moving average. That's a negative sign. So right now it's still holding the EMA 200. If it closes below the EMA 200, like I said, first target would be 174. Okay, Michael. I guess that's your opinion, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of people use use other indicators as well than just VWAP and trend lines. But yeah, VWAPs and trend lines are quite effective. Anyways, so yeah, I would say 174 most likely if Bitcoin is going down. So around a $10-13 downwards, that would be my expected target for BSV. Okay, that's it. Enough shit coins already. God damn it, shit coins. Back to Bitcoin. Okay, Michael. I guess it's a fact then. I mean, I'm not going to start arguing with you. Um, what insights on Ethereum 2.0? Well, we have to wait for Ethereum 2.0, right? I mean, let's see how because every time they say that they're going to do a major update or a major upgrade, let's see. I know a lot about software development, and whenever people say, okay, this is the timeline, they're always late, right? So whenever something happens in software development, it's always late. When they're saying it's going to be arriving in July, it's most likely going to be September, October, or something like that. So I'm still waiting for Ethereum to be giving more specific rollouts and updates. But yeah, obviously it looks good, right? But if you've seen my video yesterday, you've also seen that Bitcoin has a ton of new software updates and developments as well. So if they are first, or if they are better, or whatever, that can change the market substantially, right? So let's wait it out. I guess let's wait it out. But I'm definitely not bearish on Ethereum. I think also because it's the second biggest market cap on the cryptocurrency. But yeah. Ethereum on CME futures, well, not yet, right? They're not allowed just yet. But I do hope, I do want to calm down a little bit on CME futures and stuff like that. You do realize that when CME futures were released on Bitcoin, that Bitcoin price was pushed and crashed down by CME traders, right? They shorted the fuck out of Bitcoin. So I'm not so sure if I mean, in the long run, it's a good thing, right? You want more liquidity, you want more professional traders, let's put it like that, and onto the market. But that also makes the market harder to trade. To be honest, 2-3 years ago, you almost were never able to be losing money because you just had to buy the dip. As a trader, that's all that you had to do. Everybody looked like a genius, right? A couple of years ago in cryptocurrency, you just had to buy the dip. You just had to buy the entry price of any shitcoin, any ICO, and you were making money. But now the market has evolved. There are futures, there are derivatives, there are options now. Options is something that is going to be huge, right? If you know how to trade options on cryptocurrency, on Bitcoin, definitely you have a huge advantage or huge edge there. So yeah, that's all I'm saying. You should, a little bit. A lot of people are just thinking about the liquidity, which is something positive, but there's more than that, right? Anyhow, so I think nothing much more to say. It was I think the same analysis as yesterday. You can't always expect every day to have a happening thing. So like I said, we're trying to short this area here and thinking that we most likely will be forming some kind of pattern like this. It can also go up here and break up. Either way, I'll be happy and be making a little bit of money. And we're just waiting for the HVP to be flashing red. So I hope on tomorrow's show I can show you that it will be flashing red and that something happened. But yeah, other than that, I think yesterday it was the perfect, like I said, perfect analysis. We had a small ascending triangle, we had short-term bullishness, but overall things were a little bit tired, looking a little bit tired on the higher time frames. And S&P and VIX, those are the two things that we're looking at, right? So I'm waiting. one more hour until the New York Stock Exchange opens, and then hopefully we will see some more action, right? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Please like, share, comment, ask questions, whatever, right? So we can talk and discuss about things on the next episode. And until tomorrow, as always, 7:30 p.m. UTC +8. Hope to see you guys once again. And it was a pleasure to talk to you all once again today. I'm a little bit tired today because the baby has been keeping me more awake. Let's put it like that. So yeah, I'm gonna be stopping this for today. I hope tomorrow, I really hope so, we will see something more interesting on the Bitcoin chart, and we can talk about some more movements and hopefully make some money as well. But until then, please